Hello, everybody. So I'm taking my walk, and I decided to start recording because my thoughts are like downloading. Channeling, baby. This is why I'm recommending some kind of definitely physical activity because your mind goes into this state of relaxation. And I'm walking in the evening right now, and that's actually really calming. So, the topic I was going to touch was telepathy once more. It is such a superpower of yours. It is fucking ridiculous. And the thing I wanted to say was that, like, when people come to me and they say, how do I, how do I make somebody like text me or call me or, you know, make contact? And I'm just like, forgive me, please, not to sound arrogant, but it's like, how do you not? I think is the question. Because people, like, I always talk about it incessantly because it's my experience that it's a little too easy. And again, of course, provided you process your mama drama panorama, you know the story. Thing is, though, it's so easy, you have to be careful, is my point. So maybe you're doing it and you're not realizing that you're doing it. How about that? How about that for a solution, a consideration? Maybe you're already doing it. And what happens then is what I just discussed this past live. Excuse me. If you have, let's just say, a transmission that goes out, a telepathic transmission, and at the same time, you are barricading it with the energy of worry or, I don't know, fear of some kind, this and that. It's the lack of overwhelm. How can I say it? You need to overwhelm the fears and insecurities. That's what it all comes down to. The ratio again has to be, and that's ideal, and that's the goal, 90-10. 90% focus, 10% noise. And that's what's important to keep in mind, like how much of your telepathy are you allowing to work? Because it works like fucking magic. Okay. I just experienced something yesterday, just very, very briefly, thinking about somebody. I cannot mention who this person is. But I haven't heard from them in a very long time, shall we say. And it was incredible because I haven't thought about this person like in forever, ever, ever. And it took me 2 seconds to think about this person and send out my version. How can I say? My version of how I felt. I just found a white feather. I can't make this shit up. That's fabulous. As I'm talking about the story, I can't make this up. I wish I was recording video. Anyway, this is so cool. I'm loving this now even more. Synchronicities galore, darling, galore. So, thought about this person for 2 seconds. The next thing I know, like, let's just say it was at night, and we haven't spoken in years, as I've mentioned, since before COVID. All right. So it's been years. And again, you know, so the next morning, this person emails me. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is because, for example, this person and we don't speak for a reason. There's a certain situation that occurred that I want them, um, if they have a chance speaking to me personally. That's the condition. If you're coming back to talk to me, you need to acknowledge what the fuck you did. Otherwise, we don't have a conversation. But you see, in my mind, I didn't bother to change this person because I'm kind of fucking done, to be honest. All right. There's some people, and this is like, again, excuse me for the clearing my throat there. There's a thread in my teachings where I say, you know what? If the person has done so much damage to the relationship and this is what it means to them to have you in their life, then fuck them. All right. And it could be your family, it could be your own mother, it could be whomever. And you, inside, I feel some people don't realize a lot of the time that they're actually done with somebody. And this is not too often, but once in a while I encounter it in coaching, and there's no way to form a signal of another version of a person this way. Like you're done. You're done. Like, I don't know, creating excuses of some kind. Um, your spirit cannot explain it away, in other words. But what's funny to me is that, again, took 2 seconds. Even though I'm done with this person, haven't spoken in years, this person emails me. I didn't take the time to change this person, nor did I want to. And so all that I saw is this, I guess, need to talk to me because I threw out this thought, kind of wondering, I wonder if they will ever acknowledge, kind of like a little bit, I don't know if I was pissed off, but I wasn't happy, certainly. And so here it is. So you see, if you're not like careful about these things, it could just be whatever, the same shit showing up. Um, and nothing really changes. And I feel like that's what a lot of people now, I don't really care about this relationship whatsoever. Like, really, I couldn't care less. But it was demonstrative to me of the fact that if you're not precise enough, if you're not careful enough, if you're not like getting ahead of it and you're not noticing it, that's what I feel like a lot of people are doing, where they just, you know, it's become their habit to play within a certain realm. And so that's the question. More than anything, that's the question I feel for a lot of people now. Like, can they really see this person in a different light? And if you can, and if you can make a connection with that version, then it's an agreement right there and then. If you can make a connection telepathically with that version without any resentment, not bringing the old story with you. If you can achieve that, actually, then that's what will transform the relationship completely. In other words, like, again, excuse me for clearing my throat. In other words, it becomes a matter of what you have against them. Is it something you can get ever past? Right? It's your decision and your decision alone. And I feel like some people, like, not for nothing, again, pressure themselves to go one way or the other. And you really shouldn't. And that I had to learn, like, on my own example and my own experience, where there were times when, I thought to myself, this should have already worked in this way, or this way, or that way. And the truth is, okay, it shouldn't have, because there were reasons that it didn't work that way that I didn't know at the time. And consequently, like, enough time had gone by, and that's the deal, like, how you wait for your manifestation, whether you're in discomfort, excuse me for that noise, that was not intentional, but kind of went along nicely. If you're in discomfort of any kind during the gestation process, or if you completely like well, nobody's really completely relaxed, but if you, let's just say, at the very least, just stay most of the time in faith, right? Focused. Maybe not 100%, maybe not even 90% in faith, but let's just say, I don't know, whatever, 60, 65, 70% in faith, right? So, because then, if you do, if you understand this is somehow working out to your benefit, irregardless of what it may seem like, that's another thing that I feel like people misinterpret. So, in other words, the way that in the sentiments that you wait in will predict, um, well, first of all, the speed with which you will transform the current situation, right? Because you are being prepared for the next level. If you're still being impatient about it, and you're still checking the phone and all that stuff, um, you're not ready to receive that something. You're not trusting that, like, 2 seconds of thought alone, connection alone to that reality is enough to manifest it like the very next day. Okay. But also, and most importantly, the way that you wait, the trust and the faith that you demonstrate to your higher self, to your angels, what have you, whatever you want to call universe, it allows them to deliver something crazy spectacular, because you don't see everything, you don't know everything on this level. You can kind of tune into it, become telepathically tuned in, and kind of like have this guidance of intuition. That's the best you got. Intuition and guidance. Upstairs, so to speak, they're fucking arranging shit, doing shit. Just stay in faith. Just stay aligned with the golden Buddha path. Doesn't matter what it looks like right now. Because if you do that, if you start like looking at the same situation, and inside you're able to connect to another so-called future parallel timeline, and you've made this connection so faithfully that, like, you know it intimately. There's no question in your mind, like, like, if you were to walk into a living room and you go, like, your living room, for instance, and you go, okay, I know where the couch is, I know where this armchair is, where this is, where this is, where that is. That's your mind. It's kind of like another metaphor is a garden and all that jazz. But you construct it. I mean, it's literally a hologram. So this is when it goes back to focus. But essentially, speaking of telepathy, it's so powerful. Again, it's your superpower beyond measure. I think the purpose of coaching, again, is to clean up your stuff inside so that you can be a clean signal, and so that, I mean, telepathy goes the other way also. You pick up people's thoughts and whatnot, energies and stuff like that. So for this reason, your energy needs to be quite pure, and your thoughts as well. There needs to be maintenance done. This is how you become Fuck, a little too magnetic. A little too magnetic. Like I wish I didn't hear from that person actually, but but I did. So that's how powerful you are too.